It has been the 4 intense days of intense training, real work, serious communications. At first we learned it was history, and then it was her story, and then there's Distory. So it's been evolving from one thing to another. It is really, really surprising and really educative.
I really want more of this training. Like, it feels like it's been one day. So the training has really been so interesting. This is the first training where I felt like I'm seen, like, you know, I'm given that audience.
The training was so wonderful. For me, I think it was a need. Communication has been something that maybe people don't take it serious because we all talk.
So that one is okay when you say and discount but you can never say it for the before.
We should not allow the room of negative.
Stay tuned to our show so that you can learn more about Ashley and her story. Elizabeth from the machines.
Hey. For us as wives, the training came through Sisters Without Borders, and we sat and agreed that it was a time that we had to know how to communicate with our community members and also to equip the CBOs and the organizations we work with at the community level with knowledge.
We have goals to achieve from next year. That is now to go out there. Now to go out there, we'll need great storytellers, a good communication team.
We're here so that we can learn about saying our story better. We've been saying our story. We have grown from saying our story. We now need to even grow even further into areas we will not speak the language.
The type of people they work with are people who integrating them back into the community is not easy. This person has been experiencing fear. Maybe they don't want to tell their story. But because I went to this training maybe in Nairobi or Dar es Salaam, and I remember, this is how I should handle somebody who is afraid to tell their story. Before I come to them, I should have developed a relationship with them. And you won't know these things if you haven't come to such a training like this one.
The reason why I am green,
For me, this training has, when it was mentioned to me, I felt the urge to attend it because it would be an eye-opener for me to understand how to communicate with people.
The reason why I came here is because I wanted to perfect my communication skills.
Anta, a student leader in a certain school. I learned how to describe myself. I learned how to speak out my story. I've learned how to network. I've learned the teamwork. And I've learned how to train.
I've improved on how to express myself, how to stand in front of a crowd, how to not read from a paper. I can now speak my mind so that in a way that it's in line with the context I'm supposed to explain. Without using papers, that's my biggest achievement.
The tools are actually, I've learned that I can use my own phone. This is a gadget that I have every day, but I've never known how to use it in communication and even in storytelling.
I think I'm now a more curious person when it comes to ethics, yeah? At first, I would take them as something, you know, something simple. But after this training, I think my eyes have been more opened to be so curious about the consent forms.
So how many do you have now? 3. Something that I've noticed, and because of my journalism background, there are very powerful stories that the trainees, the participants have in their community, but they didn't realize until they came to this training.
We are from different countries, but we are now the same team. The WIS has unified us to act as the well-established team of TOTs who, once we get back to our countries, will just do the great work to ensure that even the communities and other organizations that we are working with, they understand this term, good approaches of storytelling.
Through this training, I have learned new ways and more creative ways that I think they're more impactful when it's come to do the storytelling. You can start with anything catchy on your storytelling so as to make it more impactful.
anyone can tell a story because we all have personal story to tell. And in the African culture, actually, we are storytellers. Our culture is passed down to us, through oral, through non-verbal, yeah? And so you realize this type of training opens your mind, yeah? It doesn't matter who I am, I can still tell my story.
Every story matters. It's the stories that we collect in the community that shows the impact that we are doing in the community. So if every story matters, every story needs to be amplified. Every story needs to be documented.
What we use today is something that is called the journey of life. So the journey of life is where you talk about your story. The journey of life, what we do, we use flowers and we use stones. So the stones symbolizes the hardships that people go through. So the more stones you put, we understand how hard that situation was. And the more flowers you put, we understand it was beautiful. So the flowers symbolizes beautiful or good moments or good times. So we created a safe space for everyone. And I must say this was actually a need because most of us had a lot to share. So if you keep carrying your own trauma to your work, there's no way you will help people in your community. So you'll find that there are people who have more stones than flowers. So we keep encouraging each other. As much as you have the stones, there'll be the flowers next.
I had some experience on mental health, but I had not gone deep on the trauma healing part. Today, I've managed to go through the steps in trauma healing. And what amused me, or which I will never forget, is the time when we did it practically, where we started telling stories as a team. People volunteered, they told their stories, and it was really emotional. But by the time this person finished his story, there was a solution.
I think they're very ready. And I'm not just speaking from my own personal perspective. It is them coming up to me and saying, on the first day, I wasn't sure, that I'll really change my mind, the way I think about storytelling, the way I think about my mental health. But on day 4, I'm going back and asking them, so what do you think? And they're actually telling me that they're ready. They feel confident.
After this training, because I've been in the room, I've expressed myself where people have been older than me, more knowledge than me. So I think that has really boosted my confidence times 10. And I really knew that I can do it out there. So I think now I'm prepared. As long as I keep the respect, active participation has really stood out for me. The trainer has really made all of us speak out. I think I'm now a better storyteller. I have now new tactics. And I think when I go to the field, I will not be able to stress about overwriting because I've learned this one technique of using my phone diary, to actually record what's going on.
The training was so good. Our trainer was so good, Rachel Mbaka. Thank you so much. This is so good.
For me, I feel more confident. I'll be able to stand in front of different groups and different CBO members, training them on communication and how it is essential to communicate with the community members in the right way and in a way that we all take care of other people's emotions. After this, I think I'll be able to train more others, and I think it was a nice experience.
We would like the organizers either to share with us their M&E tool. It would be good for organizers to see that these tools are implemented within our communities. We do put them to use because we have been doing a lot of communication, but this verbal one, not the practical bit.
There is a need for more partnership If we could have like annual linking and learning program, we share ideas and experience. We share the challenge that we face in our country. The challenge from Kenya can be solution in Tanzania. The solution in Tanzania can be, so like it can be vice versa.
So I feel like probably an opportunity of training would be for the organizations that organize this are there on the ground, so that you have both the trainers and the participants there on the ground seeing, you know, so that they're all involved, yeah? So that when you're teaching this group of trainers, you're also teaching the participants, and they're watching, they're seeing what is happening, so that when the explaining is being done, they're able to see it. Because you realize when you see something, it's easy for you to remember.